All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get ready. We're here at the Roy and Jimmy thing. Get ready to rock, get ready to roll. The moment you've all been waiting for. We got hot, sexy Roy and Jimmy. Hell yo.
Doing that thing you do, breaking my heart into a million pieces.
Monday night, chaoticradio.com, Roy and Jimmy thing. Welcome in. My name is Roy Brewster, and this is...
I am Jimmy Shaw. It is Monday night. It's your Monday night, guys. We're on chaoticradio.com, the Roy and Jimmy thing. Again, thank you for listening.
Thank you. Phone number free to call if you want, 909-360-8330. Give us a shout. We've got a lot of stuff going on tonight, so we're going to get rocking pretty quick.
Well, we're going to go through our usual stuff. We got things to catch up on, things to recap, and talk about things to look forward to.
Look forward to's the big one.
Absolutely. Big shout out to the Legacy Room. We had our monthly show just this last Saturday. So a big shout out to Jim and Sheila and Paul out there. They're always great to us. We had a great show out there. Shout out to our comics we had out there. We had Martin Montana, hilarious. Great to finally meet him. Leanne Tucker, she rocked it out. Our buddy from the show here, Ryan Reeves, came out there and did his stuff, which was just hilarious. And our surprise headliner, Charlene May. And she's a biddy. What did she say? 4'11"?
4'11".
A biddy, but man, she headlined and just really brought the house down. So big shout out to you guys. Shout out to everyone who came out there, and again to the Legacy Room. We'll be back April 8th. It's our next show.
Yes, the 8th. Start looking now.
Start looking.
Load it up. Make your plans. Do it now.
Do it now. Great venue, great time. Yeah, so that's coming up. That is April 8th. That's a Saturday.
Yes,
and we're doing it again.
Yes, we're going to start. We're going to. Should we just start early? No, we got guests in. We're going to go.
Let's do our stuff.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, because we'll talk about the other show then. How was your week?
My week was good.
Yes.
Yeah, I had something to say and I totally forgot.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Stage fright.
I was ready. I was ready to talk about something too.
New phone holder for your car? Was that it?
Yeah, because of the law. Law. So I got a cell phone holder for the old. And those are hard to shop for. Me and you went shopping last month for that.
We went on a Saturday, Jimmy and I. Dawn was out of town. Ari was out of town. Jimmy and I don't even know why we started hanging out that day.
Just in case there's a couple people from out of state, California law, at the first, you cannot handle your cell phone device while driving or even in the car at all. So even if you look at a text or a notification, you can't pick up your phone.
Yeah, you can't say it was Waze or something like that anymore.
Exactly. Even with your navigation, you cannot pick up your phone with your hand. It is the law. So now everyone's just making money on all these cell phone holders. They got the vent holders. They've got the cigarette type, the lighter holders. The one Roy has, the adhesive one. So we went shopping. Yeah, we went to 3 or 4 places. We went to like Radio Shack. They do still exist. AutoZone or something, and Pep Boys and Pep Boy. Hey, I'm going to say something right now. They're going to get mad at us. Pep Boys. Are Pep Boys doing anything with our thing Thursday? No? Good. Pep Boys now sucks. So bad. It was awful. Pep Boys used to be... I like how we checked first. Yeah. To make sure you have to. Pep Boys used to be more than getting your disc brakes. It was like shopping. It was like, let's say, a mini Walmart. They had all these different garbage. Stuff. The floor mats, the air fresheners, the stereos, the tires, the wheels, rims, customized stuff, batteries. I mean, the place was just full. Even had a performance section, nuts and bolts. Holly, Edelbrock, just all of it. All this stuff. Not anymore. More than, say, AutoZone. More than O'Reilly. I'm just saying, if Manny, Mo, and Jack were still kicking, they'd be pissed. They wouldn't be happy. So we go in there going, well, of course we're going to go to Pep Boys. They've got everything. Nope. Nothing. The one out here is maybe a quarter the size it used to be. 2 rows, and that's it. Everything else is just counter stuff. So we left. Yeah, we left. We got curious to see what the one where Thomas used to work is like now, because that was a huge place. I want to drive by and see what it's like. Yeah, it was huge. And we could probably see Dennis while we're there. Yeah, but there was none of that accessories there. So we ended up going to AutoZone, and Roy bought everything we found. I did, and then I walked back in the door and refunded him. Refunded and did it again. Which is the best way to go. You don't want to go all the way home. No.
Come back and try. Roy, open the box, put it in. Nope. Box back in, receipt. We did that. I thought for sure your card would just get stalled for being like fraud, fraud alert or something like that. You were coming in and out so many times. With like half an hour, you had 4 purchases.
So we got done with it, found nothing we wanted, but we finished out the day strong?
Yeah, because Roy looked at me and goes, "You want a hot dog?" And there was Wiener Schnitzel right there. Yep. So hung with my boy for about 2 hours. We killed it with some chili dogs.
It was a beautiful
And
day.
we were charitable because we went outside and ate and got the 5 for $5. And this homeless guy came up and, I rolled my eyes like, here we go. He goes, I don't want anything. I just got out of jail. I just want a hot dog. So I gave him a hot dog. And he was even kind enough to walk away and eat it. He didn't scarf it right there going, oh, that was good. Looks like the other one you have too.
I thought he was going to go to the bushes and throw it away, but he went over there and kind of stood in the parking lot, ate it by himself, and then off he went.
Yeah, polite, and then he was on his way.
Yeah, I would have gave him another hot dog.
Oh, I would have gave him, sure.
Yeah, all right. So we did that. That wasn't this weekend. That was a couple weekends ago, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we did that. So did that. Then here's what I did.
There it is.
Okay. Everyone's doing everything online from shopping, dating, and all this social media. There's also the buying and the selling. You have Let Go, Craigslist, OfferUp.
OfferUp. I'm big OfferUp. I'm a big seller in OfferUp.
Yeah, I used to be until everyone people just like to mess with you.
Did you know on Facebook you can sell now?
Yeah, too many things. But yeah, they have the forms there. But OfferUp, people, if you're selling something, people like to mess with you. They like to tell you when they're coming, and they don't show up.
I haven't had that problem.
Oh, I went through a run, and I was ready. So mad.
Don't get you going.
So anyway, I'm browsing. There's a few things. There's stuff that we all shop for that we don't need. But we like to see what's out there. Okay? I like looking at Dodge Ram trucks just to see what's out there. Okay?
Okay.
So ran across a yellow one. Pretty reasonable price. I'm like, I'm going to check this thing out. Nice pictures. So gave the guy a call. And first of all, no one's there when they say they're going to be there. I'll be there at 12. Drove all the way out there. Then he hits me up and says, well, I'm stuck in traffic. I won't be out there till 3. Fine.
That's a lot of traffic, 12 to 3.
Yeah, on a Sunday.
Yeah, okay.
But the truck was there. Well, a yellow truck was there. And he said his wife would show it. And I'm like, I'm not going to knock on the door. What it was it was a yellow Dodge truck, but it wasn't the picture.
Oh.
This one was a Rumblebee in the picture, but this one had a Rumblebee aftermarket sticker.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't the Rumblebee logo. It was a Stinger Bee.
Yeah.
And the interior looked nothing like the picture. So, guess what I did?
What was that?
I reported that shit.
Oh, you're such a dick.
No, he's a dick.
All right, I get it.
I let it go for like 2 days. And then today I was browsing through, and there it was again. I'm like, you know what? Boom. Picture was not of the actual truck.
That's what you are. You're just a trendsetter. You're like So you're like the, what do you call that person that oh my God, it just left me.
Citizen's arrest?
No. Citizen's arrest. I think
Neighborhood
you're
watch.
5. No. A vigilante.
Yes. See, here's the thing. Here's how my life has changed. Okay, my temper used to be over big, heavy things. Okay, get so mad, right? I'm so mellow on heavy things now. I say you wrecked my car. I'm going to say, are you okay? Is everyone okay? I'll call the insurance company. When we wrecked my truck, okay? It was like, oh, okay. Oh, boy.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Is everyone okay? We good? Everyone's going to live? Fine. You know what? I'm going to have to get another truck. We're going to have to move on. This was traumatic. Whew, it's over. But if I stub my toe or I can't find my wallet, I lose my shit. Lose it. And then traffic and police, I think police should start pulling people over for the small stuff again. Changing lanes without a turn signal. Not stopping correctly.
Whatever you want to get mad at. That's
where I'm at there. So, anyways, we let all these little things go, then we start letting the big things go. That's my moral to the story.
That was a long road to hoe there, Jimmy.
It's
Is that a little thing? You're getting mad at me now?
Yeah, I'll get mad.
That's what I was trying to do.
I'll get mad. But anyway, so I reported someone to let go.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah, it ain't right.
I sold a bunch of stuff to let go. I didn't have any problems.
I drove all the way out there. You're the one who put it up. I didn't do shit.
Well, I'm glad you felt that you had to do that and you took care of it.
Hell yeah, I took care of it.
Good.
Then I stopped at Target on the way here. And then my pet peeve, I saw the sign. It says, are you bag reusable ready? We got to buy our bags. And Roy knows where I'm at.
That. Yeah, we know you.
You know where I'm at with that. And that almost ruined my mood for the show.
But it didn't.
Almost.
All right. Well, that's good. I didn't do a damn thing this week.
You didn't do nothing exciting?
No. I bowled good Sunday.
Well, there you go. You did do something.
Yeah. Dawn bowled a 207.
Is that good?
Yeah. You know it's good. No open frame. You know, she just 207, ripped one out, just like boom.
I really just
I just share that.
I just do it for the drinks.
All right. That's I don't need more. So is that our whole week? Are we done with that?
I am.
You're finished now. All right. We got people in the studio. We're going to bring them in.
Well, we have another event coming up.
This one's a big one. That's why they're here. Not that Legacy Room wasn't a big one. Uh-oh. What'd you do?
I'm waiting for you.
Oh, I thought you made a noise. Watch this. Stephanie's going to be all impressed. We have Stephanie Brynjolfson.
Woohoo! I'm super impressed.
That's it, right?
Yeah, close.
Oh, I thought that's how you told me to do it last time.
Brynjolfson.
Brynjolfson. Damn it.
Brynjolfson.
Michael Carrillo, both here. We're doing a big show with them coming up on the 23rd, which is a week from this Thursday night. And it'll be Jimmy, myself, Sean, Gus Arredondo, and the Beast Sean Williams is going to close it out. So we're pretty excited about it. And they're here tonight to let us know all about it. And we're all excited. Local show. So what's up, Michael?
Show.
How are you? You can speak anytime. Good. Oh, man. I was going to tell him to speak, and I didn't have his thing on. Now he can
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, I mean,
thanks.
we mixed him up a little bit. We told him 9 o'clock. Michael was here this morning at 9.
No, bright and early.
I get a text says, I'm here. I went, oh, shit, I'm not. That's not a good thing. So, no, he's here now. He was just early. You want to scope it out because you don't know what we're like. We could be like freaky guys.
One of the warning signs of Alzheimer's, though, is not having orientation as far as time and place. So we're going to have to talk.
Right.
Is that really one?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Because you just scared the shit out of me because that's me like every morning.
So the truth is, and I'm going to tell you now on the radio, Michael, it's been years ever since you walked in the door. Your family actually moved you into Atria, and they're using creative reality.
Oh, there you go.
You're not the marketing guy. You are a resident.
I don't know. You might think that, but he walked around the place. People like really looked up to him.
They do.
So
yeah,
we play it off
that's
real
all
well.
part of it. The creative reality, man. You know, it's all the preparation and, you know.
So we actually found you a place to stay.
So when you're going home, it's not the place to stay. It's the place to stay during the day. Home is your break. You didn't even know that.
No,
the shit's getting a little scary all of a sudden. But yeah, we're doing a big show for that for Alzheimer's Foundation Inland Empire.
Alzheimer's Inland Empire. There is an Alzheimer's Foundation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Scratch me.
And an Alzheimer's Association, but we are Alzheimer's Inland Empire, a subsidiary of Alzheimer's Greater Los Angeles. My boss will be so proud of me that I said that.
It sounded great.
Jessica Hodgson.
I'll pull that audio clip and send it to you.
Would you? Thank you. Thank you.
We'll put it out. That'll be a stinger every break we take tonight.
Cool. I just about.
Never mind. That was sounding so cool. All of a sudden, she went to hell.
I did. I lost.
So we're excited. We excited to do the show. Great organization. I know you're involved with it.
Yes.
And then we walked around the facility a little bit when we were there with you. And what a cool place.
Yeah, thank you very much. We take pride in what we do. So
I was blown away because I got there and I'm like, okay, and it's like, well, and Jimmy and I that was the day we did the deal.
That was shopping day.
That was a shopping day, and we did all the stuff. I just remembered why we were out. That was a lot. So we got there, and I stuffed my face before I got, and Jimmy did, and we get there, and Michael's like, hey, we can have some lunch, and we're talking not like just like cafeteria food. This place is like culinary, like good stuff.
Life-changing.
5-star restaurant.
It is. It's
yes,
so good.
It was super impressive, and we're shy when we're in those situations, so we have the shrimp cocktail. And I'll tell you, it was probably the best shrimp cocktail I've ever had.
And they kept trying to give us something else, not in a bad thing, but it was like, are you sure we can't get... And it's like, I just stuffed my face. I can't do it. I wanted to see if you'd let me come back a couple hours and we'd talk about it again, in case we had to cover some more stuff.
Sure, you're welcome anytime.
See, that's what I'm thinking. But what a nice place. When we left, there were people were eating there when we got there, and staff was real nice. In the other room, someone was playing the piano and singing and having a good time, and I'm like, I should just start looking out because this might be someplace I want to hang, in a few years. I mean, I'm getting up there. I'm 51.
Yeah, I'm right behind you.
You're right. Yeah, like how he said, I'm behind you. Whatever. Right behind you. So what are we doing with the event? What's this all going to help, and where is all the money going?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Roy.
Damn right, radio.
So Alzheimer's Inland Empire is an organization that is on the ground providing education, which is what my job is. I'm the education and advocacy manager. So we provide education, support, and services to families with loved ones and those people who have dementia here in the Inland Empire. So that's Riverside and San Bernardino counties. And we also service tiny parts of LA County as well. But the fundraiser is something that Michael so graciously thought of. Atria Del Rey every year is such an amazing supporter, and we came up with this this comedy night. So the funds from the comedy night are going toward Atria Del Rey and Michael's walk team, and 100% of those funds that are raised will go to assist people, with social services, with education, and that type of thing here in the Inland Empire. 100% of the money.
See, that's awesome. So many of these things you do and you hear about that they go out, if you really break down, because they put their, like the big fundraiser or the big people, that I'm not even going to mention them. If you go on, all their stuff is public. Right. And if you see the amount of money that goes to the cause, a lot of times it's very minimal, or not very minimal, but minimal. And a lot of it goes to, different places. So that 100% of it's going to the foundation, or not the foundation.
Alzheimer's Inland Empire.
Alzheimer's Inland Empire.
Yeah, you do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you do get surprised when you find out it's 1% or 1.5%,
Right.
and you're just like, "Holy cow!" It's just not fair, or definitely an illusion.
Yes.
To the charity.
Yeah.
So Atria is just hosting the event, so we're going to use our venue to host the comedy night and have the silent auction prior to the comedy night. To have cocktails and hors d'oeuvres. Our chef does an amazing job on providing hors d'oeuvres, and then the ticket sales. So every dollar that we receive goes right to the Alzheimer's Greater LA. We're not keeping one penny.
And that's cool. And then you guys have worked together before.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot.
years.
So and to open it up and do that, I found out. This is funny, when I told Don where we were going to have it, and then I met you guys there, that I don't know if this was probably a long time. You probably weren't there, but they stole your facility for like a little while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. When she got married the first time, they took their wedding shots out front.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful building.
It is a beautiful, but hey,
There was a little area there, and there was
a koi pond.
Yeah, that's where they were at. By the koi, and they took their shots right there. I'm
Very
like,
nice.
You know what? I'm going to tell on you, and you're going to have to pay now. I'm going to make Kyle pay. Maybe your guys pay now.
Right. There
He's
you
got
go.
money.
He does.
Bastard. You got to pay it out and donate it. But it cracked me up when she told me that. I'm like, you went there to do it? She goes, yeah, it was beautiful. it was awesome.
Of course.
It still is.
I guess.
I think the surprising part is they actually found a place to park.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Yeah, parking's a challenge.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that. When you get there, you're going to park just west of the facility.
Correct.
And where Legends and all that stuff is there. And then you can come over. It's not a long walk.
Nope.
It's nice and close. Just come around a little fence, onto the sidewalk, and right in you go. So where can people get tickets for this thing?
So we're selling them. So this Wednesday, I'll be up at the LA Fitness selling tickets from 5 to 8 p.m. And then they can always come to the community and buy them at the community at the concierge desk. Or they can call me directly or email me. Or just the night of the show, we're going to sell tickets at the door. The only challenge is we're limited to 100 guests. So we have to cap it at 100 guests.
Sure.
And the tickets are going for?
It's donation.
Donation.
Yeah, donation. So there's whatever you can donate, we'll take.
So don't come on. We're going to donate to a good cause here.
Yeah, it's a great cause.
So I'm just telling you right now, if you're going to come and you're excited and you're listening, break it out. You know what I feel like? What was it? Coming to America? We'll take the stuff that jingles, but we prefer the kind that folds.
Yes.
Yeah, come out and make it a date night. If you spend $40, you get appetizers, 4 drinks, and the hour of comedy.
So you're getting drinks with it?
Yeah, so everyone gets 2 drink tickets,
Oh, my
a full bar.
At full bar, and their cocktails, I am telling you firsthand, the pours are good. And yes, you will not walk away under what? What word am I trying to say? You'll be happy.
You'll be happy.
It'll be a happy night.
You'll be happy.
And the show's going to start at 7, right?
Yeah, so the doors open at 7. So prior to the comedy, because you guys are going to come on about 8, I believe.
Was it 8?
From
Okay.
8 to 9.
Okay.
We're going to have in the lobby. We're going to have a silent auction, so we have prizes that people can auction off. And while they're waiting for the venue to start, we're going to have appetizers and cocktails to make the time pass.
Nice little mingle room, a little walk around, get comfortable, check the place out.
Now, doors open at 7. If I happen to leave work a little early and get a little head start on the appetizers, not a problem, right?
Not a problem.
I just checking. Just checking.
Just got to make sure. Be clear.
Come on.
early.
But what in your facility? I actually did some research,
Okay.
and you guys do independent care, assisted care, and memory care also.
Correct. Yeah, all 3 services.
And then
How long has the facility been open?
So the building was built in 1987. Atria took over 2007 as a management company. So we've been there since 2007 to today, providing senior care in the Rancho Cucamonga area.
And how many residents are there?
So we have currently 105 today's census.
Wow, that's today. So you're
That's
on
it.
it. Today.
Yeah, today.
Not yesterday's. It's,
It
104.
goes.
We had someone
Yeah.
move in.
Yeah.
Well, we were there. Someone was moving in.
Yeah, it happens every
That's
day.
right, that's right.
There was a
Yeah.
big moving van up truck, and we're like, man, there's some good stuff coming in the door.
Right. Yeah.
But how cool is that? I mean, to have all those 3, and what do you? I mean, the memory care part of it. What is it? Real difficult to have? I mean, the independent. Because is that because some people don't want to have all the help and they just want to be independent?
Right.
They
right.
don't need it, and they want that. They don't need to have it, so they're a little more, I don't want to say proud, but they just have that about them that they want to be that way.
Yeah, they still want their dignity. They still
There it
want,
is.
They
There you
still
go.
want to be able to, do the things that they used to do. But we're there to help them if they need to. They have a chef to make all their meals,
You got to go back to the
chauffeur to
chef.
drive them to the bank. So they have all staff there to help them with their laundry, clean their apartments.
See,
all that
I'm
good stuff.
telling you what, man. More and more,
But it still provides a bit of an independent feel and also sociability.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a resort for seniors, is what it is.
That's what I was going to say. That's what it sounds like. It
Truly is. Yeah.
I mean, and when you look at it the other side, you've worked your ass off your whole life,
Mhm.
and now you kind of have, your own little spot, and not that people are taking care of it, but you have people that it's almost like you have your own staff all the time. And how cool is that? I mean, seriously, my whole staff is Dawn. She don't like it.
She doesn't like that?
No, she's not she's not a big fan.
You guys should move to Atria.
Well, I'm already thinking about it. I'm already thinking about it. So, on the memory side of it, though, because we're kind of on the memory side. I mean, obviously, there's Alzheimer's people that are there, and how much more care is involved in that? Is it a lot more, depending on the stage, or how does that play into it?
So there's a fine line, because the person who has dementia. So, well, I won't get into. See, I could talk about this all day long.
No, but you could. And the reason I asked is because my grandmother had dementia.
Mm-hmm.
She ended up passing away in her 90s, and my mom took care of her probably the last, 8 years, 10 years, and I don't know how she did it. I mean, we had a couple of tough conversations where I'm like, you can't do this anymore. I had just split up that time, and I moved in with her for a little while, and I caught her outside. She'd break out of the house, and I was confused on the difference between dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yay! I love that.
But it was. It's like how to me as a layman, as someone that doesn't know, and it's my own ignorance, they seem the same to me, but obviously they're very different.
Well, all right. So dementia is merely it's a set of symptoms. So you look at dementia as an umbrella word. we've all, at one point or another in the last couple of months, have been sneezing and coughing, and we've had runny noses. So all of those are symptoms. So we all so something has to cause those symptoms. So dementia is the same thing. Dementia is a set of symptoms. Orientation issues.
Showing up at 9 in the morning instead of 9 at night.
So hello, Michael, with time and place. Difficulty, well, so this is a tough one for me because this is every day. Difficulty finding the right word.
I just did that. I couldn't find it.
Right, it's gone. So short-term memory loss. Confusion with time and place, difficulty with perception. There are a number of different things. So we've got a number of different functions of thought that involve organization, orientation, memory, communication, all of those functions of thought. So when we have a problem with a function, one or more functions of thought that create difficulty getting through the day without the help of someone else, we can consider that as a dementia. It's difficulty with functions of thought. So dementia is a symptom, but every symptom has to have a cause. So Alzheimer's disease, I'm super not medical, but it's amyloid beta and tau protein that build up in the brain cause the neurons to tangle. So when the neurons tangle, they stop sending signals to the body to tell it what to do. So we start out with confusion, then short-term memory loss. And as the disease progresses through the brain, we start having more and more problems. And so that Alzheimer's disease is causing all of these different symptoms. So the difference between Alzheimer's disease and dementia is that Alzheimer's disease causes dementia.
So when my grandmother had dementia, Alzheimer's may have caused that.
Yes.
Or did cause that.
Possibly.
Because there's other forms of dementia.
Yes. So, right. So there are many, many other causes of dementia. And the problem is today is that we have, Alzheimer's disease is the leading cause of dementia. In fact, every 67 seconds someone is diagnosed in this country with Alzheimer's disease.
Wasn't aware. I mean, I know it's prevalent, but that's every minute.
Right, that's every minute. So when we think about Alzheimer's disease, and I can say, 5.4 million Americans have Alzheimer's disease. They actually have a diagnosis. That's, when you think about the population of the United States, you think about 5.4 million, but when you think about every 67 seconds somebody being diagnosed,
right.
and it's going to start increasing. Because we're getting older, and Alzheimer's disease is an age-related disorder. The older we get, the higher our risk factor is.
Now, now to us, it seems like it's really kind of become more of an epidemic, but I think that's because we didn't hear about it as much
right
back in the day, especially with social media and, everyone pretty much sharing about that, So to me, back in the day, Alzheimer's was just very few.
Yeah, well, I think too. People are living longer now. I mean, I got a resident's 103 years old.
Oh, that's true.
I mean,
that's
so
true.
People are living longer. So these diagnoses are, coming more prevalent. That's my personal opinion.
No, it totally makes sense. Yeah, but like I said, we living longer. It's a great point, but we just never heard about it as much, we didn't have those outlets. I mean, we had 3 channels on TV, so they weren't talking about it.
Yeah, it was senility.
Yeah.
Senility.
Exactly, or senile.
Yeah.
No, you know what they said? They said they're old and they're just batshit crazy. Is what they said. That's really what they said.
Exactly.
That's what my kids say about me.
Well, hey, it's coming. But here's where I start thinking the other side is, yes, people are living longer. There's more awareness, of course, like Jimmy said. But is the percentage of people that have it now as opposed to the population, the same percentage of the population, or is there more of the population that is getting it now? Is there an outside force that we don't know about with maybe our surroundings that may be increasing it?
Okay, so
is that a dumb question?
No, I think that's a really good question. And when I talk to participants in my little education program, not little, some of them are big, the education programs that I do, we talk about one of the things that we know beyond a shadow of a doubt It came out years and years ago. I remember hearing at a symposium at UC Irvine that more than any drug on the market, social activity, being social, will do more. Social activity, diet, and exercise, of course, will do more to slow down the progression or delay the onset more than any other drug on the market, no matter what they do. So what I wonder is our diets are getting worse. And, we've got such access to fast food. Everybody's working more, but we're doing less. So if you think of our kids today, rather than going out and playing in the yard and getting that vitamin D that is so critical, they're sitting inside doing video games, and we are no longer communicating and meeting each other organically. We're meeting each other through multiple portals. We've got our cell phones, we've got our computers, we've got Twitter and Splitter and whatever.
Splitter.
I don't know.
That's a new one. We're going to put Splitter up.
Well,
that is one of the first sets of onset is
Hello.
the loss for words.
So you make up new words.
That's like Home Depot and Lowe's.
Oh, no,
dating.
wait a minute.
You're
No, wait
right.
a minute. So that means Don King is definitely, he made up words all the time.
He's definitely a candidate. He's got a problem.
Well, you know what? I'm going to agree a little bit with that. Definitely the physical activity. But I also think that with brain activity, you want to keep feeding your brain.
Right.
And obviously the video games is going to help with that.
Yes.
I always try to do something, whether it be a game or read, something. I keep thinking in the back of my head that I heard either from my dad or someone back in the day, constant keep your brain doing something.
Right.
Always have it trying to learn, read, just keep it active.
Exactly, but you know what? What we know is that it's a lifestyle. It's a well-rounded lifestyle. So somebody who is exercising their brain on video games all day, they are doing nothing to help their brain. If they're not incorporating physical activity and good diet, it's got to be an entire lifestyle approach, really.
And that's where you get into the cardio, and then the oxygen. You're feeding the oxygen, and like you said, the sunlight, the vitamin D.
Right. Yeah. So,
now, Stephanie, I think you told me too. There's exercises you can do, just like your daily routines. If you walk around the block, go a different route.
take a different route. Exactly.
Learn a second language. Those sort of things. Really challenge the brain.
Absolutely.
I started writing left-handed, so I can just use those cells that I don't use.
I taught myself left-handed about 15 years ago because I figured, I don't know how to do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So there's some things I can do left-handed great.
Well, that was interesting because when we were talking and joking outside after we met that Saturday when we were putting the show together, we were talking about different people to bring to the show that we thought might fit. And one of them is a comic friend of ours that's not political, but he's very, I don't know, we were talking about Wyatt.
Right.
And we said he's very, you just slow down, you have to listen. And one of the things you said is that is great for that type of person that's listening because it makes them think and it's like a problem solving type thing. So is that like you do? I'm sure you have, I know, not I'm sure, but you have specialists there to do exercise with the memory part at Atria. But is that like, there people just specialize to do that alone to help with those exercises and
there's
brain
different
activity?
Programming that we do that's designed for a lot of cognitive games. And even at Atria, we found that music really doesn't affect the brain. They can still recognize that and connect to it. So a lot of our programming incorporates a lot of music because that's one area that's not affected by the dementia. So they can still, have those good memories and so forth when they're listening to music. So part of our programming is designed to do, cognitive exercises.
I remember seeing a video on.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
Where I think it was a lady, and she was pretty much gone, unresponsive. And it's really had set in. So I think it was the granddaughter said, "Well, this is the song my grandma and grandpa used to dance to. Yeah, their song." So they started playing it, and about 30 seconds, she started to react to it slowly, and it was like watching someone come out of a coma.
Yeah.
Where in that brief moment came all the way back, and for that moment in time, whether she wasn't in the present maybe, but she was in that day of their song, and just whip smart, responsive, and it triggered something and it reactivated that area for that moment.
Yeah, it's there are different mediums that can do that, and music, like Michael said, it's such a great. I mean, everything. Think about how. When we're sad, and we listen, we've broken up with someone and we listen to a sad song, and we kind of get into that mood, or, we listen to good music and, it kind of peps us up. But music is such a big part of our lives, and it always has been.
Oh, it's one of the ultimate memory triggers. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes,
I totally agree.
It could take me back
It'll
in a
take
minute.
you to the moment. Yeah.
I can hear a song that I listen to at a certain moment, and it's weird to me because it'll take me there, and I can even have senses like I'll smell what it smelled like then, and all those things come rushing back. It's kind of got me freaked out a little bit. But it's true.
It's a literal time machine, like Roy said. I'll hear a song and I'll be put right back in the spot in 1983.
Yeah.
I'll be driving my Charger. I know I'm on Foothill Boulevard. I'm about to take a left to go see Roy. You know what I mean? It'll take you so specifically. So it's such a great thing to use.
Yeah, and it can't. It's not something to be minimized at all. And sometimes, it takes these beautiful moments where we see someone come alive through music or whatever to help us realize that the person who has Alzheimer's disease or one of the many other causes of dementia, they're still there, and sometimes it's taken for granted that they're not. We get so wrapped up in the disease that we forget that there's a person in there.
Behind the curtain there.
Behind the curtain. And so music is a great way to bring that out. Alzheimer's Inland Empire has a great program called Memories in the Making, and it's art. It's watercolors that we use to stimulate memory, and amazing things happen if the program is done right. There was a story about a gentleman who was living in an assisted living community, a memory care, and his girls were getting ready to make their last visit because when they would visit, it was heartbreaking for them because Dad was gone. He showed no signs that he recognized them. He pretty much just sat. And it was so hard for them that they were preparing for their last visit. Well, he would go and participate in the Memories in the Making program. They'd put the paintbrush in his hand, and that's as far as you can go. So whatever that person with dementia does with that paintbrush, it's theirs. If they put a dot on the paper, it's theirs. And we can encourage them through conversation, but nothing else. So this man would get the paintbrush in his hand, and he would just drop it. He had no interest in doing any of it. So it appeared that he was gone.
Right.
A caregiver said, wait a minute. He was this is probably a few months into this program, said, wait a minute, he was an architect. What will happen if we put a pencil in his hand? They put a pencil in his hand, and this man took that pencil and wrote the letter R with a circle around it all over the page. And when I get chills when I talk about it, but
I'm not even there. Look at
you got goosebumps. You got goosebumps on your arm. So R with a circle around it, and so the girls came in for what was going to be their last visit, and this piece of paper was presented to them, this piece of art, and the girls became very, very emotional. Their mother's name was Ruth.
Oh, my God.
And that's how their father addressed his notes to her.
See that?
You think it was bad before? Look now.
I know. I got it too. I got the.
Well, like I said, that's the great thing about that, where you try to find these ways to communicate, because you don't just like Roy mentioned, put them aside.
No.
Saying, well, you have Alzheimer's, leave them over there. But you find out all these triggers, and I've always thought about it as, you're behind a brick wall. People can see you, but they can't hear you.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, that's a good analogy.
You're screaming at the top of your lungs, but no one can hear you, but they wave at you. Okay.
Yeah, hi.
It's always one of my fears of what this is.
Well, yeah.
And Michael, did you get into this knowing this, or did Atria take you here as far as learning about all this?
Oh no. Atria showed me the way as they took their journey with them. I came in from a whole different industry, and I knew, the seniors was the way to go. I had my mom who I was taking care of, so I dealt with it firsthand. So it's more of a, to me, it's not going to work every day. It's something I love to do, so it's very easy to go in and care for the residents.
And how long you been there? I'm sorry?
Going on 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be 4-year anniversary coming up this September.
Wow.
But I did want to make a point, because when Stephanie mentioned the art and you asked about the programming, it's all the programming is not the same everywhere. Dementia care varies drastically from place to place, and you guys kind of hit it on the head too. We call it sharing the way. We kind of share those moments and get to know the residents, and that's kind of where we're unique when we do our care plans. So when families are looking for places for dementia care, really do your due diligence, because I've gone to some properties and their artwork was painting coloring books that you would see a 5-year-old do. Our residents do actual painting. We brought like purple easel in to do painting, like actual artwork.
I've been there.
Yeah, and so it does vary, and again, it goes back to that dignity. We still want to give the residents much dignity as possible.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Well, I think a hard thing, and we talked about the family they came to see him for the last time, and the families go through a lot.
Yeah.
But what I see sometimes, and I don't know all about it, but I've seen, I see stuff through posts, and I research some stuff here and there, and I'm really into that heartfelt stuff. And the thing that I feel for is the person themselves, because it has to be, to me, sometimes it could be so frustrating that they are in that position, because I've seen ones where they might come in and out, and how do you know how they're reacting when they're not? Are they fighting, and it doesn't work, and all of a sudden it comes back? I mean, what could they be going through as a person also? And you talk about dignity, Michael. I mean, what does that make them feel like? When they know, especially in the early stages, they know this is happening. And that's got to be awful.
So an interesting thing, and this is something that I'm working with on my own, and I'm chatting with a gentleman in Australia about this, but who wrote a book that I love. But one of the things that I'm trying to focus on with folks is get to know yourself. Okay, so if you think about going through your day, and you get through the day, and or you just had an interaction with somebody, and you walk away from them and say, "Why did I do that?" Does that ever happen to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So why did I do that? Well, you know what? We need to understand why we do the things we do. We need to get to know ourselves, and that's one thing that I think everybody is kind of working on, is getting to know me. But we really need to get to know ourselves, because when we've got a loved one with dementia, if we don't know ourselves, and if we don't understand why we do the things we do, how on earth are we going to understand what that person with dementia is going through and why they do the things they do? And like I kind of narrow it down. So if you think about an activity that you do every day, that you don't think, that you just do it, brushing teeth, right?
Right.
I'm leading you.
Well, yeah.
Because
this is radio, right? We can't nod our heads.
Well, you're basically talking cause and effect.
Right. Yeah. But I asked a group one day, and somebody said, "Go into the bathroom," and I'm thinking, we are not going through the steps what you do to go to the bathroom. I don't want to go there. So I lead everyone into brushing teeth.
Right.
So if you think about how many steps, how many things do you do
to get there? How many
to finish that task? How many things do you actually do?
So let's say you go into let's stay with brushing your teeth. Uh-huh. Okay, so your morning routine would say you take a shower, you do your deodorant, you do your hair, and the last thing you do is you brush your teeth. Mm-hmm. I happen to like to walk around when I brush my teeth. So let's say I grab the toothbrush with my left hand all the time. Mm-hmm. I put on, boom, I start walking. So let's say I start getting into some dementia. Mm-hmm. If you put the toothbrush in my left hand, I may go into my routine, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, all right. So here's the thing. So if we think about how many things we do to get from point A to point Z, brushing teeth, I'll have people tell me, well, I take 3 steps. There are 3 steps to my process of brushing teeth.
Right.
I have other people say 5, 8, 10. I have my smarty pants friend Hank, who said 27. Well, when he talked about it, he said, well, the first thing I do is think about it. And then if I'm in bed, I sit up, I put my slippers on, I walk to the sink. I go through this whole process. I actually had a gentleman then say I don't take any steps. I take my teeth out, I put them in a jar, and
That's
I put them
2
back
steps.
in. I said it's 3.
But these minimalist things are very important.
They're very
for
important.
just in case down the road.
Yes. And if you think about it, even if you only do 3, for that guy that's taking his teeth out and putting them in a jar, he has to do those things in a certain order in order to get that task
Absolutely.
done.
Because if your brushing would stay with the brushing your teeth. The counter. If something is moved,
Right.
and as we are today,
Yeah.
you still would go, well. It takes you off your routine.
Right.
If this morning, if Ariana moves the tissue box to where my hair gel is, I'm going to reach for the tissue box going, where's my hair gel?
Right.
And my brain is going to shut down for a moment going, whoa, something's off.
what's
Something's
going
not
on?
working here.
Exactly.
And this is why when married people or people together, even friends going, every time you do that,
Right.
because you know that person so well.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right. So so the person who has dementia can't complete those simple steps.
Right.
So think about then, what I ask my families to think about is, how would you feel if you walked to the sink one day and you couldn't figure out what to do first? Something that you don't, how much thought do we put into brushing our teeth? Nothing.
No.
Nothing anymore.
We just do
yeah.
it. We just do it. So imagine going to the sink and not being able to figure out what you do first. How would you feel? And then you take it a step further, and when we're frustrated, embarrassed, scared, how do we treat the people that are closest to us? We start lashing out.
Anger.
We're angry. So that person who has dementia, when they're angry, you better believe it is something that has to do with the fact that maybe they couldn't figure out how to button their shirt, or they're realizing that somebody walks in the door and there's that familiar feel, but God, I can't remember their name, and it's their grandchild. How horrible would that feel? So if we understand who we are and we really look at what our loved ones are faced with every single day, starting out with brushing their teeth, something that simple, we are so much further ahead as far as being able to communicate with them and to clear the path. So I kind of look at it as clearing away the path. So we clear away the path for them. We make it easy for them to travel the road that they're on without having to think about any twists or turns. And I think about John Cusack in that movie, Say Anything.
Yeah.
That's when I fell in love with John Cusack. And if he just knew who I was, he would, yes. Yeah, I know, with a boombox.
With a boombox over his head?
Yeah. So he went on that date with Ione Skye, and she's like yay, I'm going. He's got this great date with her, and on their way home, he's walking her home, and they're traveling. They're going down the sidewalk. She's going to cross the street, and he notices glass in her path, and he gets in front of her and he kicks the glass away, so she can move safely through on the path that she had taken, and he kind of led her through that. Mm-hmm. That's our job as caregivers, as family members. Anyone who's dealing with somebody who has dementia, our job is to kick away that glass so they don't have to worry about traveling that path. They just cruise the path easily.
That's a great analogy. And that's what you guys do at Atria.
That's what they do.
Every day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You guys want to hang around for a little bit? I'd love to have you for a few minutes.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Awesome. We're going to get here for our first one. We usually, and this is the way it is, we actually break about every half hour.
Oh.
We've been on an hour.
No, we haven't.
Wow. Is it really?
It's pretty.
chatty.
No, but it's pretty. We're all involved. You know what? Let's do something fun. If you got any questions that want to talk about or have any questions about this subject, give us a call. Stephanie's on it, and Michael deals with it every day. They both do. It might be something you can share with us.
Questions, share your story.
Yay.
Not a problem.
Man, look at us. We're going to take our first one of the night. Give us a call after the break, 909-360-8330. We're here with Michael Carrillo and Stephanie. Hey, you know what I did?
What?
I got the J in there too much.
It's the J's
Brynjolfson.
a Y. Yes. Yay.
We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back to the Roy and Jimmy Thing here on chaoticradio.com. 909-360-8330 is your phone number if you want to give us a call. Good conversations here, guys. Thanks for coming in and taking some time for us.
Very enlightening.
Very enlightening. We're going to get more out of it. Can you hear?
No.
Really?
And I got both of my things turned around the right way.
Really?
You got
can't
them the
hear?
right way?
Wait, you know
Huh?
what?
What?
Because there's no wire.
Well, okay.
It was funny. I was going to tell Stephanie. She had her headphone on like this, Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh, the flip over? Yeah.
Yeah. And I was going to go over and whisper in her ear to flip it over, but I thought I was going to be like a freak. So I didn't. And then she went, that's what was wrong. Really, right now?
That's it.
Uh-oh. I got to look it up now.
Yeah.
I wonder where.
Just came in right now. It said earthquake.
We just have an alert. an
Yep,
earthquake.
I just got a text too. Yeah, apparently Rancho Cucamonga felt an earthquake just a minute or two ago.
We were sitting right here. It couldn't have been.
I didn't feel it.
We didn't feel it. No,
That was nothing.
It was probably in the east end of town.
Yeah,
The studios are shaking.
never mind.
Come on. Yeah,
Whoa.
I can't figure out.
Now can you hear us?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, she's in now.
Woohoo.
I think that's our first live news break-in ever.
That was well. Michael pulls it out and he's like, shows me his little watch and earthquake. I was like, oh shoot. But yeah, so hey, if you want to call and tell us about that, don't, because we don't care. All we got to do is pull up Facebook. Everyone's going to put earthquake. We'll know about it in about 4 minutes. And let's see. Watch. I bet somebody has it. If I go here, I go news feed by most recent. Watch, it's going to be up immediately. Oh, never mind. Internet's down. So we're not on air right now. I'm just kidding. We are. No one's posted about it yet. Does anyone know about fibromyalgia? Really? Asking for a friend. Anyway,
we got a call in. This might be our news update here. Let's, put them on.
213.
All right, you're on the air with Roy and Jimmy.
Line 1, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Who are we talking to?
This is Mary Lou Marquez. I work with Stephanie Brynjolfson.
Mary Lou, my love. How are you, precious?
Hi. I'm well. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm
What
fabulous.
are you guys up to?
We're talking about this Alzheimer's thing and our wonderful fundraiser
Oh.
on the 23rd of March.
At Atria, so make sure you're there.
Yeah.
Doors open at 7.
We will be there.
Yeah.
Are you?
Like, we will be there.
Of course.
Awesome.
Yay. So Mary Lou you're our care consultant.
I am a care counselor.
Care
Basically,
counselor.
I'm a social worker. A social worker
Yeah.
for
So
the Alzheimer's Inland Empire.
Nice.
yeah.
Man, we've got
I
so
work
many
with
good
Stephanie.
people with us right now. It's not even funny. We don't deserve it. Because Jimmy and I are really jerks, actually.
Oh,
No, they're the best.
there's a place for everybody.
Yeah, good thing for us. Good thing for us. So you said you did.
She's
So I'm, my official title is a care counselor, but, I think for ease purposes, I say I'm a social worker for our old school people who know more so what a social worker is versus a care counselor or care manager. So I visit clients, who have Alzheimer's. Really, my clients themselves are the caregivers taking care of their loved ones who have Alzheimer's or some kind of dementia. And, a little bit of everything. I think Stephanie, Jessica, and I do a little bit of everything. Community outreach, education, marketing and sales. We all do care counseling in some way.
Yep.
And how long have you been doing this?
Oh, gosh. I'd say formally for almost 30 years.
Wow.
So,
That's like...
yes.
And I was going to get to Stephanie with this, too. I don't know if she'll answer. What got you into this?
You know, when I was 16, my parents turned our house, believe it or not, into board and care. So we had a 5-bedroom home, and they turned 3 of our bedrooms into, we took patients in who had some kind of Alzheimer's or dementia. And I lived with them, and I was like the little helper and stuff, and then I went to college for social work and gerontology, which is the study of aging. So it's kind of, I should say, I always tell my parents, oh, you guys were smart. Now they're 81 and 84, and they had me go into a field that would eventually take care of them out of guilt.
Right. That's awesome, though, to get involved. And then, Stephanie, do you know why? How'd you get involved?
Wow. So I worked in the senior industry. I sold health plans to seniors. I worked for FHP Healthcare, which is long gone. And then I started working for Scan Health Plan. So I did that for, I don't know, probably 10-ish years, something like that. But I was putting about 1,000 miles a week on my car, and it was just too much after a while, after having kids and everything. Yep. So I saw an ad in the paper and just went in and interviewed. And I remember sitting in the lobby waiting for my interview, and I had so much fun talking to the residents there. And it was just such a great experience, and I didn't know, but my future bosses were actually watching me interact with them.
Wow.
And I got the job and didn't know the difference between Alzheimer's disease and dementia. I had no idea, but man, I jumped in real quick because I realized just how desperately people needed good, solid, accurate information.
There's a great information coming in. We have another caller on, too. All right, caller 2, you're on the air also. Is this Sean?
Yes, it is.
It's our buddy Sean Williams. He's one of the comics who'll be at the show on the 23rd.
Yay,
Sean will be headlining.
Oh, great.
Well, Stephanie knows Sean.
I know Sean.
I don't
Sean
know
and I have
Sean.
done shows together.
Done a show together. Well, Sean did Harry Potter. No, that was Mr. Potter.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, though, I do have an update on the earthquake. There was
2.2.
2 of them. We have from what I can see here from USGS, we have a 3.0 in Banning, and then there was a 3.8 east-southeast of Loma Linda.
Wow, and I show a 2.2 here in Devore.
Yeah, that might be another one.
Holy smoke! We better get out of here.
So there's your news update. But Sean's joining in on the subject here. Thanks for coming.
The earthquake was strong in Moreno Valley. But,
you felt that too, huh?
Yeah, but I have a question on your topic specifically. If a person has, if you have a senior citizen and they have they haven't written out what they want to happen to them when they're incapacitated for something like a stroke or whatever, where they can't make any decisions on themselves. Should someone that knows that they're on the beginning stages of either Alzheimer's or dementia, should they write that out? Is that something that they can do? To write out and say, look, this is what I want, or this is who I want to be in control. This is what I want to happen to me. So you have is that even possible?
Yes, and this is the thing. So understanding warning signs is critical, because what we want to do is when the warning signs start to happen, we want to get that person into the doctor. We want to know what's going on. So early detection is critical. So and it's amazing the decision-making capability of someone in the very early stages. And this is something that we just forget. We don't realize it, that yes, this person's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, but they are very capable of telling us what they want. So as early as possible, we need to get that in writing, because Michael, I know you've seen it. Mary Lou, you've seen it. What happens when there are no instructions?
It costs thousands of dollars to go to the court and get the conservatorship, whereas you can pay $10 now and get it notarized.
Yeah.
It's a simple form. It's a power of attorney for health care that you would just draft up and get it notarized.
Now,
and
I have a question we touched about earlier, and you did now, about early detection.
Yes.
Now, I kind of assume that's kind of depending on the person that it's being affected by it, because what you're saying with being frustrated, embarrassed, not a lot of people come forward.
Right.
With what they may or may not think they have, or resist somebody saying, "Hey, you know what? I think we have a problem here with you."
Mm-hmm.
Does that deter early detection?
It does. It does. But see, so we get this list of warning signs, and so I'm basing what I say off of observation over 12 years. So we're not going to see that mom isn't paying her bills.
Right.
We're not going to see that she's losing things. Because people who are in the very early stages of dementia are very, very good at hiding what's going on. They make notes. They can mask what's happening. So what we watch for, and there are 2 warning signs that we aren't strong enough in educating families about, and that's personality changes. So when we talk about that person in the early stages who's confused about the steps it takes to brush their teeth, and all of a sudden they're angry with us and we don't know why, well, that's why. Because they can't figure out how to brush their teeth, but we don't necessarily see that. So we look for changes in personality, and then we look for a withdrawal from social activities. Things that are different. If mom's been pretty social and all of a sudden she's making excuses for why she can't come to the family gathering, or, why they can't go to that party, or why, Michael, a resident of yours, can't, is all of a sudden not wanting to come down and play bingo. Those are 2 warning signs that we are going to see without a question.
Right.
But as human beings, we don't consider that. We think, mom's being a brat again.
Exactly. Well, and you guys will see that because it's already been brought to your attention.
Right.
I know it's almost impossible to get earlier detection and treatment at that point. Like I said, between the family members not knowing, there's no history of it. Then the person that's being affected by it, like we're saying, they withdraw, they get frustrated, quiet, mad, leave me alone. Because we've all walked into the kitchen going, why did I go in here?
Yeah.
Right,
and of course that's minimalizing it, but go 100% more on top of that, and then 1,000% more on it. I blow it off, and I'm sure someone else is going to blow it off going, no, nothing's happened to me, it's just a bad day.
Mm-hmm. Which is very likely, but when you start seeing a pattern,
it's a shame it has to be so far in before it gets to you guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that being the early detection part of it.
There was a situation where I took my mom for Mother's Day. She ordered appetizers, and then 2 minutes later, when the appetizers came out, she goes, "Who ordered the appetizers?"
Yeah.
Like, little things like that they don't realize that they're doing, but you can kind of cue in on.
Now, is that something you should actually act on? Do you think maybe
it's probably a red flag if it happens a lot?
Without being categorizing it, or just Chicken Little, skies falling. You know what I mean? Is that something to kind of wake you up to keep more ions and look at those symptoms?
You look for patterns because you can have like my mother. I took her years ago. Her favorite place is the casino. That's where she goes to relax. So I was her chauffeur. I took her to see Celtic Woman, and we got done with the show at like midnight, and my mother gambled until 4 o'clock in the morning. And then she was up and ready to go at 7. I wasn't, but she was. So we came down the elevator. It was later on in the day. I think we were having lunch, and we got down. We left the room and came down the elevator. And we got to the bottom floor, and she couldn't figure out which way to go. And I just stood back and watched her. And then later on that day, she had trouble figuring out the tip she just couldn't, the process didn't make sense to her. I noted it and watched very carefully for repeated patterns, and I didn't see any. But what I had to consider was Mom was up until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So, and at 80, she was 82 at the time. So yeah, so I didn't see any further patterns, but man, I was watching her every day, and I'd kind of, knowing what I know, I'd look at bills and, is everything getting paid? And kind of look at little things. And
Yeah.
she was fine, but
And you can even just go like into the refrigerator and open the refrigerator and see, is everything fresh, or is there lettuce from 2 weeks ago that's turning brown instead of being fresh in the fridge.
True.
Where's the anger?
Talking about, the attorney question, I used to work with an elder law attorney in Riverside years ago, and I was always, listening to what he said about, you mentioned conservatorship earlier, and conservatorship is so expensive. It's so, it's public, and, I worked in all these different and interesting facets in I think, the field of social work, and one of them was, not only with the attorney, but also in prearranging a funeral. I tell people, we all sign up for this, whether we want to or not, when we're born. And we don't know when our expiration date is going to come. Being prepared, ahead of time, and I know it's tough, the conversations of death and dying. When I go to a client's house and I ask them, you have a loved one who has, like Stephanie mentioned, the early stages. They're still at the point of where they can make some decisions, and it's tough, and it's a very tough conversation to have. But saying, since we know now what is going on, let's sit down and meet with someone, with a family,
talk about it,
and talk about some of the things that we need to put into perspective. One of them is really the powers of attorney, not only for health care, but for finances, because we all know that there are not some nice families out there, and better to have these things in place when that person is able to make those decisions ahead of time,
it's like
so that they have the tools.
And like Sean mentioned, a shame you have to do that once it happens. A smart move is to have that done before anything, Alzheimer's or anything. I think that'd be more the education of it also. Early detection and also early preparation.
Yeah, because when and the thing is that when someone's in the early stages, and you were going to ask a question, Sean. I heard the word anger. So if you think about someone who knows that they're not quite right, and then you've got a diagnosis, somebody say who's gone to the doctor, or maybe you're trying to encourage them. They're less likely to want to go to the doctor. They're less likely to want to set those plans in motion very, very often, because they are grasping for any type of control that they can get. And so all of those decisions that make perfect sense in a healthy situation become so much more difficult when someone is experiencing, a potential memory loss, and when they know that it's coming. Right. So
and not only is the early detection that Stephanie is talking about so important, right now there haven't been any new medications really out in the last 15 years, which is why one of the reasons why we do fundraising. But at the stage of the early stages of Alzheimer's, the medications that are out right now, that is when they are the most effective, because as the disease progresses, this isn't a disease that you can stop. Hopefully you can somehow delay it with, and that's another radio show, but talking about diet, lifestyle changes, those types of a commitment, that hopefully even happens early on in life. But like Stephanie keeps mentioning, that the earlier the detection, it's going to help not only the person with the dementia, but the family and the loved ones who will be caring for that person.
Exactly.
That's good advice. Sean, you had that. You had a question about the other side and the anger side.
No, it's sometimes you it seems like people that are going through this get angry and at their caretaker, but it's not. I don't think it's necessarily because it's more anger related to them not being able to remember stuff, right?
Exactly, yeah. And that's, I've had friends who are professionals who will be addressing an audience, and someone in the audience will say, so, is anger just a part of the disease process? And I actually had a friend of mine answer, yes. No, it's not. No, it's not. So when we think about the brushing teeth, when we think about not being able to remember a grandchild's name, or not being able to, to get in the car and drive to the store, for God's sake, these types of things, we're going to have anger. We are going to have anger, and it's part of it, and that's where the caregiver needs to clear that path, and there's so much thought and strategy to caregiving. And one of the things that I hear so often, everywhere, is, we want caregivers to feel good about what they're doing, so we tell them, don't take it personally. Whatever you do, it's the disease. Do not take it personally. And I fight that now. That statement, I think, is doing a grave disservice, because we have to take it personally. We have to, because a vast percentage of the problem, the anger, has to do with communication and perception. So we need to take it personally. And when our loved one is angry, we have to look at the environment. We have to look at our communication methods. We have to look at everything, and we have to look at what we can do to make this an easier path for them. And so if I were to tell someone, don't take it personally, it's the disease, I am not doing you any favors at all. So much of the anger comes from not being able. So if we know that someone has difficulty brushing their teeth, we're not going to make them feel like they can't. What we might want to do is engage them in a way that makes them feel like we want to do this with them, or something. There's so much spin that's involved in keeping someone feeling good about themselves and feeling like they're not in need of help, because that's not who we are.
Maybe it's not. I understand that, not take it personally. But maybe instead of that, just don't take it as an attack. It's not an attack against you, but take it very personally, because this is a loved one to you. But it's not an attack on you.
It's not right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's almost. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, this last thing before I get out of here, and this, glad you guys are having this conversation. It's really interesting, but. I don't know. I missed the first half, so I don't know if you guys are a facility or just you provide help for people that are caring for their loved ones. But I'm sure at a time comes a point where people have to put their parents or whoever they're caring for with dementia into a facility. And I would suggest, and I'm sure you guys probably do, that they need to check these facilities out.
Yep.
Well, that's
Michael mentioned that. Yeah.
Well, that's why we have Michael here from Atria Del Rey, and they're like, that's where we're having it, and having the show at. And when you see this, Sean, you'll see the facility is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right. I think the thoughts before, it was from home to nursing home. And, the rocking chair, the grandmother being in a rocking chair, people don't realize that there's so many places and choices before. And not everybody, an older person, you imagine the dignity you have now. It's the same kind of dignity that an 80 and 90, 70-year-old, 100-year-old person wants. They still want some kind of dignified way to live. And Michael's community is really beautiful, and the way the staff cares for their loved ones. I mean, it really becomes their loved ones, the residents that live there, families. And my mom was even in this situation. She was a doctor. My dad was a respiratory therapist. I was a social worker. We couldn't take care of my grandmother. We're all in the healthcare profession, and I think to myself, what more for those who don't have that kind of background? We were sleeping. My grandmother was waking us up in the middle of the night. We had strangers in our house, and it came a point where we said, okay, and my mom was really the primary caregiver. She quit her job, and we had to let her know, you know, your health is at stake, and let's look. And it took, you know, believe it or not, it took almost a year and a half to actually find a place that she felt comfortable with, where she didn't, you know, there was a process, the guilt and what have you. But after a while, she actually became a better caregiver, being able to visit my grandmother, knowing, oh my gosh, she's getting amazing care. My mom was also getting some sleep, so she was a happier person, you know, visiting my grandmother. And you're right. There comes a point where that is a decision some people do have to make.
Well, you have to step up, and that, unfortunately, sometimes that's how you start to understand it. It's like, you know, Michael said, the more he's been over there, the more he can see stuff, the more he understands the caring and recognizes, which helps with the early detection with his loved ones, you know. Right. And it's the same how you learned, and Stephanie, and how we, me, Roy, and Sean are learning more about it, you know.
You know, Sean, I got to tell you, the anger side of it, I'm kind of thinking we need to have you checked, because you're angry all the damn time. No?
You know what's funny is, well, not really funny, but when we had to put my dad into hospice, he didn't have dementia, but he had a stroke. So it's still the same process. You go around and you check out places, and you check out where they're going to go and how the place is. And I swear, we went to a place in Paris. I'm not going to mention their name or anything, but we had to check out a place in Paris, and the dude walking us around, in the middle of walking us around, the place was just filthy, and they had people just seniors just in the hallways. It made you sick. Like, but this guy in the middle of it, of talking to us, reached into his pants and scratched his nuts. Like it was the thing to do. Yeah. And we were like, okay, that sealed the deal right there. I mean, we weren't. We were just like, okay, this is over. We can go now.
The guy that was showing you around did that?
Yeah, the guy that was showing us around. Like,
yeah, well, that's how I got most of my people to move in. I reached down and scratched my nuts.
He just wanted to let you know that.
What's wrong with that?
He just wanted to let you know that it was just like home.
But that was the upsell.
It seemed like he forgot, because he was like, after we got to the lobby, he tried to shake our hands. I'm sorry, this isn't going to happen.
Well, that was part of that facility's
Sean,
that was their upsell. God. You know, we're regular people. And
so I went down to Orange County, and I had to go into a nursing home to do a brief assessment on a gal who was coming to our facility, or our community, actually. And so I walked in the door, and the little marketing girl met me, and she was walking down the hall with me. And this lovely little gentleman came up, and he started walking with me. And of course, I greeted him. I think I took my daughter with me, and my daughter saw everything. She nothing phases her. So we're walking down the hall, and all of a sudden, this man reaches over and he grabs my chest.
Damn right he did.
Damn right he did. And then the next thing you know, he's moving downtown.
Whoa!
And so I just, I smiled, and what do you do?
What was the song playing? I want to know what got him triggered.
Mr. Downtown. I don't know. So anyway, I did my assessment. I met this gal and walked back through, and I said hello to the little man again, walked a little bit quicker. And so the marketing girl, as I was leaving, she said, so how did everything go? I said, it was great. I said, I got my assessment done, and I got felt up on the same day. I said, it was great.
What a
and she
day.
was horrified.
We covered everything today.
Yes, I got it all.
Good for you.
Boom.
Yeah.
Well, let's have everyone stick around.
Yeah.
We lost Sean.
Sean.
Yeah, well, that was Sean. He's going to be headlining for us.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Sean, Sean's a beast. So we'll get him for a minute and play us out of here.
Yay.
And thanks for calling.
Yay, Mary Lou. It was so
Mary Lou?
fun.
I know. I'm sitting here with my kids, we just got back from communion class. I know, and I said, oh my gosh, I was going to call in. So I said, okay, you guys have to be quiet.
No.
And they're like, are you going to talk about old people again? You talked about old people all day long.
And we'll mix it up a little bit.
But it's so good. I know. They're out in the living room. They were. I told them to stay out there with the TV because they felt the earthquake. I said, I've got to leave for a moment. But
Well, thanks for giving us a shout real quick. If more information that we're just learning everything tonight. So
Awesome.
that's great.
we're excited to have you at Michael's place at Atria Del Rey. And Steph, I hope to see you tomorrow.
I'm going to see you tomorrow, Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jimmy and I, and Sean will see you Thursday night, a week from this Thursday.
Yay.
Oh, yay, looking forward to
That'll be
it.
fun.
It's
Alrighty.
a pleasure.
Thanks for the
Thank
information.
you.
Thanks for the information and calling in, and we definitely look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you. Have a good night, all, and be
You
careful
too.
driving home.
Love you to
Rocking and rolling.
pieces. Bye-bye.
All right.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to take our last one real quick. Give us a call for break. We had two of them right there, 909-360-8330. It's going to be a quick one. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Roy and Jimmy. That's just like Michael McDonald does it, wasn't it?
That was spot on. Wow, solid.
That was perfect.
So solid. Stephanie.
Welcome back to the last
You know the
section.
trick to doing the perfect Michael McDonald.
What?
Yeah, you get your two index fingers,
Watch this.
put them at the corners of your mouth, pull down.
Pull down.
Oh.
I just kind of like...
You nailed it right there, Stephanie.
I get my throat like locked up, and then like on... Yeah, never mind. I'm going to keep clean tonight. Jesus. If you got any questions for us, comments, questions, anything, give us a call, 909-360-8330.
Or have your best Michael McDonald impression.
That's
Yeah, bring it in.
Wow.
Well, we still have Michael and Stephanie. Thanks for staying for the whole show, guys. It's been really informative. I mean, a really great time.
Yeah,
guys.
thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
We're going to be at, so you know, if you're tuning in late, a week from this Thursday night, we're going to be at Atria Del Rey. It's 8825 Baseline Road, just east of
Vineyard
and Baseline, just east, southeast side of the south side of the street. Beautiful facility, just before the park, right after Legends. Man, I'll put you right there. So if you go past McDonald's, you don't want to stop there, and go to Legends and smell it. It smells real good. Just go to the next parking lot, pull in, and then come and get your damn tickets. Or you can give Michael a call at 909-579-9149. He will also be at the LA Fitness in Upland, the one on, I'm sorry, 24, yeah, LA Fitness. On Upland, the one on campus up there in the colonies that's by Home Depot and that stuff. He'll be there, what time? 7?
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
5 to 8.
5 to 8 o'clock if you want to pick up tickets there. And it's a donation for tickets. There's no solid price on them. So, you know, get there, get us a donation, get your tickets, come out. You're going to get a couple drinks, some hors d'oeuvres, some comedy. So the hors d'oeuvres and drinks are probably going to be better than Jimmy and I, but it's still a cool facility.
Well, you know, the phone number help. We do have a caller on line 1.
Oh.
Line 1, you're on the air with Roy and Jimmy. Hello.
This is Claudia.
Hey! What's up?
Hey there.
Our friend from the show here. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm just listening and learning more about this Alzheimer's and questions I have about my mom.
Very good.
So I know Steph and I have had these conversations before, but I know you were talking about noticing these patterns. So the question I have is, okay, you start noticing the pattern. What do you do next?
You try to get your mom to the doctor, and Roy's.
You're fine. No, keep going.
Now, is it easy? The simple answer, obviously, and I'm not trying to minimize what you're saying, is take them to the doctor. Michael mentioned that too. I saw this with my mom. I saw this with. You can't really do that. You know what I mean? Early enough or easy enough?
No, I mean, so we want to try to get our loved ones to the doctor, and very often there are regular doctor appointments.
Right. I mean, I know you're going to do that to have them either confirm or deny a diagnosis of this. But if they do confirm a diagnosis, what do? Is they just put them on medications, or is there other things that you should be doing?
Well, first of all, okay, so you get mom to the doctor, and here, okay, I'm going to be super politically incorrect.
Which that's a whole nother issue, getting mom to the doctor.
I'm actually thinking of something politically incorrect right now.
Are you?
Because for me, okay, here's my layman's terms on how I would think I would deal with this, okay? Obviously, confronting them, they're going to deny it because it's going to be so early that they're going to say, I'm fine. And they'll be, they'll be angry and maybe embarrassed. Michael mentioned that too. But would it be so bad to tell the doctor before you told your mom?
No, but there's a funny little thing called HIPAA. That is, and that law is so abused, it's ridiculous. So if there is a way to communicate with a physician prior to an appointment, that's ideal.
Right, which have already gone there, and luckily Mom has already signed off all the paperwork that I have the right to contact her doctor and get information. So I've already got that step covered.
So
I mean, it sounds like you're tricking them, but it's also you almost have to treat it like a drug intervention, where you have to trick them to show up. Because from what I've learned tonight, from what I didn't know and what I do know is the preventative is the hardest part. The earliest, the better detection is actually the hurdle to really get the care as soon as possible.
Right. So, I mean, but that's more my question is, so what exactly is the care? Just medications or the continuation of the social activities and all of those things to keep your mind and body going?
Yeah. So there's a couple things. So the beauty of noticing the patterns early on is that you get mom into the doctor. And so what we want to make sure of is that the doctor does their due diligence, because we don't just do the 30-question mini mental exam and say, well, mom has dementia, which is what happens very often. Well, that. That's why mom's there, because dementia is the symptom. So, but what happens very often is the 30-question mini mental exam, it's either dementia or they will jump right to the conclusion of Alzheimer's disease without doing proper testing. So you want to make sure that vitamin D levels, or vitamin levels are in order. You want to make sure that there are no metabolic problems, diabetes or thyroid, or maybe there's a medication issue that's causing these things. So the doctor wants to rule out any reversible cause of that problem, because depression is widely misinterpreted as dementia, because when it becomes severe enough, it can look an awful lot like dementia.
Right.
So we rule out all of the possible reversible causes, and then we start looking at, is it Alzheimer's disease, or is it Lewy body dementia, or Pick's disease, or something like that. So we start having the conversation with the doctor. The doctor should be asking us questions about what's been going on, looking at how soon it started, and what started first, what symptoms started first.
Now, Stephanie, correct me if I'm wrong, the neurologist would probably be the best person to do these tests versus their primary care.
True.
So
Yes.
I would say the next step is probably go to a neurologist to definitively, rule it in or out.
Yeah.
And it's interesting you said that, because how the different things can affect you. We talked about an incident that's kind of happening with me that we talked about what's going on now.
Right.
And your first thing was a different reaction. It wasn't like, well, is this going on or is it that? And you're like, well, did they check this? Which could be very dangerous, but very easy to detect.
Right.
That could be causing this
You're talking about the UTI, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
That could be causing that.
Right.
So you can't jump to conclusions, and you can't. And like we're talking about tonight, we're in the thing. It's like, well, we're we're very, we're amateurs and we're learning a lot tonight. But it's like, well, I see the signs and I see that and the other, and you can't just armchair and be the guy saying, well, that's probably what it is. You make sure to go through and get it done right.
Well, isn't the Lewy body, is that what you called it? Isn't that what Robin Williams had?
Yep, that's the most...
But also very hard to detect? Is that the...
Yeah, it's not as hard to detect as you'd think, So it's a matter of conversation. 80% of the diagnostic process really is conversation. So the doctor should be talking with the person. Claudia, the doctor should be talking to you. The doctor should be talking to anyone who's involved in the care. I mean, it takes time.
Well, I have another question then, too, because you brought up several other things that you're ruling out, and you mentioned diabetes.
Yep.
My mother has been diagnosed with diabetes, but is in denial over the fact and does not really want to take care of her dietary needs properly. So are you saying that could also then push her towards Alzheimer's?
Because diabetes increases risk factor.
Okay.
Yeah. So...
And there's your struggle again with your frustration, your anger, your denial, and the embarrassment really is that there. It was about 3 years ago, my dad had a bad drug interaction. His doctor gave him too much of this, and the other doctor gave him too much of this drug, and all of a sudden my dad was having moments of living as a 5-year-old, talking to his mother, and we weren't there, but we were there. And my mom fought him on that, going, God damn it, you're here. What is wrong with you? She was so mad. And I said, I got this. I got everyone out of the house, and I stayed in the moment wherever my dad went.
Yeah.
And, but I can picture my dad being frustrated about it happening to him, and unfortunately, it was just a drug interaction, but he was in all those symptoms.
Yeah.
So he's talking to his mom through me, and I'm like, so did you eat your dinner? I had to stay with him because you can't snap him out. But it's scary at that point, and that's the realization, like, oh, something's up. And we kind of had to trick his mind state to go to the doctor. You know what I mean? This is why we're going, but we're not going for that.
Exactly.
And like I said, my novice thing here is no one can really get into that. We all know about early drug detection in somebody. We've been schooled that, taught that. If he's doing this, he might be on cocaine. We kind of can key in that quicker than we can on this, but this is like so much more important than that. But the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
To get to that early stage, do you think maybe there in research and development is there just a standard test that can be taken for that doesn't have to be that's why you went in?
Nope.
You know what I mean? We're going to draw some blood and run some panel. You know what I mean? And that's general. That can handle a lot of things. Is there a test maybe that is being worked on that is a simplified version but has to happen when you hit a certain age, like your colon exam, when over 40 prostate exam, you know what I mean? Is there maybe a precedent that could be worked on to make a threshold at the age that this test has to happen no matter what?
They're working on a piece of a bill in Congress that's the HOPE Act.
Yeah.
And what it does is it mandates it encourages doctors to do their due diligence by making it easier for them to conduct the diagnostic tests that are available, which is very important. And then there's a mandate as far as follow-up. We're working on something right now where the physicians, any medical professional will have resources available. So there is more follow-up. But I would say that like the HOPE Act is probably the closest thing to what you're talking about.
Yeah. Because it's pretty routine when someone says you need to get your blood taken for a test, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
You don't care that they're testing for heart disease or AIDS or whatever it be.
Yeah.
You just go for it. You just say, because I'm at the doctor. That's what we do.
Right.
I turned 50. I went to the doctor. I went to the doctor a few weeks ago. First thing I do, you got a colonoscopy coming.
Right.
It's just and that's just what they do.
Yeah.
So maybe you're on something, Jimmy. And I'm sure people are thinking
like I said,
about
the one thing I've really caught on here is the care that you guys are doing is awesome. I mean, it's the best quality of life they're going to have, which is great. But, the anger part for me is how do we get that earlier, because you cannot do that currently.
And what I've noticed, too, is a lot of our residents are getting younger. It's affecting, people in their 50s and 60s. So it's not like, you have to be 80 or above.
Right.
It's starting to affect a larger of the population at a younger age.
Yeah, so someone in their late 50s, they do a mandated test at 75, they're already way too gone on that. That goes back to what Stephanie mentioned, though, like Michael just said, earlier, he's noticing earlier victims, if you will. But, that goes to the exercise, that goes to the diet, the lifestyle that everyone's living right now, that or the diabetes, like Claudia mentioned. Anything that seems like it's the knee bone's connected to the shin bone, and it just dominoes up.
Yeah.
But it's that. Like I said, when I turned 40, I knew that finger was going up my butt. I knew that it was coming.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And I think one of you guys, it's not slamming anybody. It's just I just think maybe that test should just be a mandatory thing that happens when you turn 50. You know what I mean? It's not going to hurt anybody, and it's going to be less evasive mentally.
Yep.
For sure.
I think awareness, too, the more it's out, the more it's out, the more it's out, it becomes more acceptable to think maybe this is something I should do.
We're ignorant on it. We don't know so much. The public, we learned more about it when Robin Williams passed away, and that's only because he was a celebrity. We knew more about it with Ronald Reagan because he had it.
Right.
But, we didn't know about it because Dave's grandma had it down the street, had no idea.
I think everybody that you talk to, you can talk to anybody, one of your friends, family members, whatever, someone's been affected by it.
Yep. 100%. You know what I did? I was at a breakfast. It was a San Manuel thing, and at the Orange Show Fairgrounds, and I walked in, and I was looking for my table, and I was talking to a guy that was standing at the door. He worked there, and I said, I'm looking for, the Alzheimer's table. And he says, my mom has she was just diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. And just at that time, another guy, like a busboy, was walking by, and he goes, oh my God, my grandmother. So within a matter of seconds, I had two people, just because I said the word Alzheimer's table, I had two people that said I'm,
And that's awful, but then on the other side, it's good because it's being talked about.
Yeah.
They're not ashamed, right?
No.
It's being talked about, but unfortunately, it's being talked about with us four tonight.
Right.
Because that's our topic tonight. You know what I mean? It's just, when people think of Alzheimer's, it's still that old school senility feeling. It's not a big deal until it happens to you or one of your family members. So no one's thinking about the early prevention because they have no idea it's ever happened, because it didn't happen to them.
Nope.
And it hasn't happened to their family, so they're not thinking about it at all. They're thinking about heart disease. They're thinking about prostate cancer because it's all been we've been educated.
We're talking about it, yeah.
Right.
And what's interesting is that because we don't have that awareness, it's like a double-edged sword. So we don't have that awareness. So we have people being diagnosed later. So when awareness is created, it's created at a point where that person doesn't remember what their grandkids' names are. They don't remember, they can't make a decision. So what we're missing out on is those people who are in the very, very early stages who are so articulate and fun and able to make decisions. And so we've got this stigma that Alzheimer's disease is someone who can't think for themselves, and we're not seeing these people who are brilliant and funny and wonderful because we're not diagnosing early enough, and we're not talking about it.
Like Michael said, someone in their 50s are going, well, I'm not old. I'm not going to die. But then when someone gets the Alzheimer's, that's the end of the game to a lot of people's opinion. It's like, well, they're done. They won't remember anything.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question here. Do you think, and it might be just your personal opinion or professional, that let's say they mandate a test similar to, say, a mammogram? Okay, mammograms have to happen. They're preventative. You don't get a mammogram after you have breast cancer. You know what I mean? It detects it. It's there for early detection. So let's say there's something for the Alzheimer's for that. Do you think if someone is caught that early, what is does the progression slow down if they're properly medicated, or does that just make it easier for them to graduate into it?
Well, so if someone is truly caught early enough, what we do is educate that person and we educate the family about what it does take to slow down the progression.
Right.
And whether...
You can't stop it, but you can slow it down.
Well, okay, so based on what research scientists said is that the only way to slow it down is through proper diet, exercise, and social activity. Mm-hmm. So whether it's actually slowing it down, I don't know. But the thing is that with medication, we have to be really careful because we'll see it in the newspapers. It's discussed. And every day I get this question. Well, Mom's on Aricept, and it looks like it's slowing it down. And the doctor said it'll slow it down. It doesn't do that. So Aricept, Namenda, Exelon. What's the medication that starts with an R? I can't remember.
No.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Well, they
maybe you should get tested.
Hello.
Now she's getting angry because she can't remember.
Again, with the it has to take a celebrity to learn more. I'll take Robin Williams again. They really were on top of the wrong medication. It being a story, and it could be just a news story, a fluff piece on that. So I don't know the technical situation on that, but they just said he was diagnosed and treated at first with a medication that should not have been happening.
Okay, so with Lewy body dementia, there are wrong medications for that disease, and this is one of the reasons that we want to properly diagnose. Because Lewy body dementia has a very specific set of symptoms. They have core features that are present pretty consistently. So if we properly diagnose Lewy body dementia, what we're going to do is we're going to keep that person away from antipsychotic medication.
Right.
And we're going to watch certain types of over-the-counter like cough medications that have certain ingredients that can exacerbate the symptoms. And actually put that... So if somebody who has Lewy body dementia, if they're given an antipsychotic medication, they've got a 50% likelihood of being thrown into a decline that you can't reverse, or it could be fatal. So we don't put someone on Lewy body dementia, where we very carefully explore antipsychotic medication, which actually shouldn't be used at all. Unless it's a last resort, but unfortunately it's used as a first line of defense with behaviors and stuff like that.
So often misdiagnosed as far as the form of whatever the Alzheimer's is, because it seems like he was treated for not Lewy body.
Right? Yeah, possibly, and I don't know what the details were with that, but
just from what I heard there. But this goes back to education and people not knowing about preventative.
Yeah, and just understanding symptoms and what different symptoms mean. So somebody who's diagnosed with younger onset Alzheimer's disease, do they really have younger onset Alzheimer's disease, or do they have Pick's disease, which is a younger onset? And it looks a lot like Alzheimer's disease, but is it really? And it's considered a relatively rare cause of dementia, but that type of dementia is becoming more and more prevalent, or we're learning more and more about it, so it's being more diagnosed, but it is a younger onset. That involves a personality change, an absolute person. That's a personality flip. So when we talk about personality changes as a result of the disease, that is one that does cause a personality change.
Wow. The medication, was it Rivestigim? I looked it up.
Yeah.
RVSTIGM. Rivestig. I can't say your last name. I can't say it.
Hi. Something like that.
So, if you want tickets, please come. It's a donation. You can get a hold of Michael at 909-579-9149. He'll be at LA Fitness on campus in Upland between 5 and 8 on Wednesday, or you can drop by and see the beautiful facility yourself and buy tickets there at 8825 Baseline Road. It's on the 23rd. Doors open at 7. You get a couple drinks. You get some food. Awesome food, not just food.
Silent auction.
What else can you ask for?
The comedy shows too is the big teeth. People come see some great comedians.
Great comedy. Get some great
Do you know
food.
someone's coming?
Sean.
Oh, Sean's coming. There we go.
I hope Claudia's coming. Well, I don't want to put you on the spot.
I would party, but I think, is that a Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't on Thursday. Sorry.
Well, that's one of the fun things about what me and Roy do, and other comedians such as Gus and Sean are going to be there, is we love performing and making people laugh, but we really love doing that and at the same time helping, be fundraisers or for a cause such as this. That actually just makes it even just double great for us to help out in that form, and what we can do for what we do that can help that even more. Yeah, a little way to a lot. We're happy to do it, and I'm really honored you guys thought of us.
Yeah, thanks for thinking of us. That's the cool thing.
Thank you.
And it's a PG-13 show. Don't be scared. Come out, have a great time.
What are you giggling for in the background,
Claudia?
You said PG-13.
Because I know you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night, and for a great cause for some great people, and so it's our honor to do it, and we're looking forward to it. That's Thursday the 23rd, and we'll definitely be posting up the details in the next couple days, and definitely contact Michael or Stephanie, and we'll get this ball rolling some more.
Get your pen out, 909-579-9149, or LA Fitness Campus in Upland, 5 to 8 on Wednesday, or drop by Atria, man. It's a beautiful place. And like Jimmy said, we're just being thought of to do it. Good stuff, man. And you guys are both doing great things. It's good to see someone that's passionate about something they care about. And it still hit me when you said you went from another field and you got to do it, and you dealt with it a little bit, and you got into something that you were able to make a difference, and you made it your life. And that's awesome. I mean, it really is. Good for you, and you too, Steph. I mean,
thank you.
I know you're very passionate.
Hopefully,
as well.
we can spread early prevention and detection. That really, to me, this is what I'm taking away from tonight.
Yeah.
Is the earlier the better, and hopefully that's one of the drugs and the taking care of afterwards is awesome. But also, I think the early detention and prevention has to be focused on also.
Yeah.
Awareness.
Yeah, and we're going to do, and the funds that are raised again are going toward Michael's team, and then 100% of that money is going to go to fund local research to help Mary Lou, get out there and do her social work and help folks, for me to do my education. Our walk is on April 22nd. It's going to be at the Fontana Speedway. It's an evening walk, and we are hoping that we're going to have a really cool band that'll play in the evening to wrap us up. But it's going to be
it's a Saturday night?
It's a Saturday night.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
at the Fontana Speedway.
As those details come through, let us know.
We will let you know.
And you can come back.
Hey, that one I can make, guys.
Yes,
yeah,
cool.
We'll definitely post that on our pages, and
awesome.
definitely spread the word on that.
Thank you.
I hope you guys get a really huge crowd for the 23rd and do some great fundraising on that. I have rehearsals and I can't make it, but I would love to be there, and I hope you get a big crowd out.
I'll be texting you with pictures.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good.
Look at her. She's already old school now. Someone would have said, "I'll Facebook Live you."
I'll Facebook Live you, Claudia.
I'm gonna send you a facsimile.
Well, there we go.
I'm gonna send you a facsimile with
I'm going to send it out by Morse code, just how great these guys are. I love these guys.
Signals.
In 3 months, go to the library. We'll pull it up on Microfiche.
Yeah. I'll put it on a floppy and give it to you as soon as I see you.
Thanks for calling in, Claudia.
Thanks, Claudia.
Always great hearing from you. We're gonna get a play together soon, so we definitely have to do another live play.
Yes, we do.
Well, great.
Yay.
Excellent. All right.
Well, see you later. Clear to your...
Thanks for calling. We love you.
Love you guys, too. Good night.
Love you. Bye.
Oh, Michael, Stephanie, thank you again for coming in. This has been very informative and fun at the same time. It really did learn a lot. Taken a lot away tonight.
Cool.
Here's the best thing. I could really, this is no joke, I could sit here another hour or so just go on. I really could, but they'll kick us out of here. There's that.
They'll make us
and
leave.
Michael's looking at us like, really? It's getting early.
I know.
I was here since 9 this morning.
We'll get the hook.
Michael's
You'll have to
been
drag
ready.
me out of here.
Well, we're gonna post up the flyer and some information tomorrow. This show will be up as a podcast tomorrow. I'll definitely tag everybody and definitely tell all your friends to listen in on this one. This is definitely some need to know information on care and preventative awareness for sure.
You guys are doing great stuff, man. Thanks for coming down. That's awesome.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thanks so much.
All right, Jimmy, awesome again.
We're done.
That's it. Damn, it had to end.
Another wrap. So thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for calling in, you guys. We'll be back next Monday, 9 to 11, right here on chaoticradio.com. I am Jimmy Shaw, and this is
Roy Brewster. You guys all have a great week. Be safe, and we'll see you then. Love you all. Hit them, baby.